Well, first of all, thank you so much for putting this together. It has been so amazing so far. I've been watching at home, as of everybody else. It's been terrific. And I think this is really the first step in winning back so many people. And I also want to just say thank you to California Governor Gavin Newsom for dedicating some time to this today. I know you have a very busy schedule with Donald Trump constantly attacking you and your state and making one terrible decision after another. So the fact that you're able to
Harry,
give some time here today is nice.
It's new scum to you.
Oh,
new scum, not new.
That's
scum.
right. That's right, Governor. You're right.
Establish that.
Yeah, let's foundational ourselves here. But Governor, again, thank you so much for being here. I just want to start by talking about the economic decisions that Donald Trump has been making and the impact on your state. Governor, it seems like to me that Donald Trump is almost insistent on destroying the American economy. It seems like you're feeling that in California. These tariffs have really hurt your state and continue to affect Americans across the country. So I was hoping that for some people at home, you could provide some insight on what they're doing to the state of California and why these tariffs that Donald Trump is placing on countries around the world is such a terrible idea.
I appreciate it, Harry. Let me put it in perspective so people listening can understand the state that I represent. It's the size of 21 state populations combined. It's the fourth largest economy in the world from a GDP perspective. We just took over that slot just a few weeks ago with the IMF figures. Again, $4.1 trillion. That is significantly larger than any other state. And so my state of mind is one of vigilance as it relates to the issues of tariffs, because no state has more to lose on the tariff issue and the tariff question in the state of California. Just think about this: 45% of all the goods from China flow into the port of LA. The ports of LA and Long Beach are where the vast majority of the goods movement in this country originate. 90% of the global trade is done on the ocean, on water. And so the ports have been impacted, dock workers are being impacted, we've got truck drivers being impacted, supply chains being impacted, small businesses are disproportionately being impacted. The tariff chaos, the impulse that is that is the quote unquote strategy of the Trump administration as it relates to the tariffs are not only impacting businesses, impacting trade, but it's impacting the coin of the realm, and it's trust, relationships that we've developed over the course, quite literally, of decades, and of course, tourism. We had record-breaking tourism in California. I think a lot of other states could lay claim to that last year. 11% decline, 11% in March, out of nowhere, directly related to the chaos of Donald Trump, the chaos of his trade and tariff policies.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more with everything you said. And actually, to build off of that, you and your team had a really fascinating move recently, which was you decided to go into the lion's den. You ran an ad on Fox News focusing on California, but also the country broadly surrounding these tariffs. You talked about empty shelves, no Christmas toys come December. Why did you feel like it was so important to reach out to that audience and let them hear your side?
Well, I mean, I've been doing it for years now, as you may know. I mean, I went on and I had a debate with, Ron DeSantis and Sean Hannity on Fox. I think it's really important. Like, you got to meet people where they are. And, I love Buttigieg, what he's doing there. I love what Bernie consistently does by going on podcasts. People agree, disagree with him, getting out of our bubble. I think it's just critical. And so taking it to Fox and getting on that platform is critical for no other reason. 14 of the top 15 cable shows are on Fox. Democrats are watching Fox. Independents are watching Fox, not just conservatives. And I think it goes to explain more things in more ways and more days about the nature of our country. And look, these guys weaponize grievance. It's surround sound on Fox. The mis and disinformation, just the rank lies. So putting these ads on prime time when Sean Hannity shows up there, Bret Baier's show, is important because we know one guy's watching, and that's Donald Trump. And he needs to understand his recklessness. He needs to understand that he's impacted this country in a way, even if he pulls the knife out of our backs on these tariffs, we're still bleeding out. The consequences are profound. I mean, this is a chaos presidency. This is the worst 100+ days in American history. His ability to damage this economy, to damage the reputation of the United States is extraordinary. And what they're about to do by increasing the debt by $3.3 trillion, the impacts it'll have on our kids and grandkids, how they're selling us out, selling you out, this is very consequential. So there's the why. And we need to take it to these guys. We can't be passive any damn more. We're too timid. These guys shapeshift. We're constantly on the receiving end of CRT, DEI, ESG, everything with 3 damn letters. They seem to be dominating. And it's time for Democrats to get off their duffs, get back on the damn offense, and take it to these guys.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I've loved your strategy with your podcast recently, bringing on people from both sides of the aisle, having these really important conversations. But what I will say, Governor, is one of my favorite moments of yours is when you were debating Ron DeSantis and you pointed out how he was losing to Donald Trump in his own state by many points. And he kind of stood there with his PR trained smile and didn't really know how to respond. I think, just one-on-one, I thought that was fantastic, but it's a good strategy. I want to also talk about what they talk about on Fox News. And it seems like a lot of these Republicans have a nasty, no good case of CDS, California derangement syndrome. Your state is the 4th largest economy. You give more to the federal government than you take in. And in many cases, you keep a lot of these red states afloat. So can you please help us understand why these Republicans attack you in the state so often?
Well, what you just said is incredibly important. And I want folks, particularly my friends in Texas, no animus towards the people in Texas, of Texas. You're a taker state, Texas. 7 of the top 10 taker states in the United States of America are red states. The top 4 donor states, balance of payments, are blue states, led by California, 3x more than the next state. Let me be specific so I'm not accused of hyperbole. $83.1 billion. $83.1 billion versus Texas taking $71.1 billion. $83 billion, donor state, taker state, Texas, $71.1 billion. Murder states, 8 of the top 10 murder states, not just dependency states, are red states. Deaths of despair, lower wages, higher infant mortality, maternal mortality, lower productivity. How in the hell are we losing these debates on jobs and the economy to red states? 71% of the GDP in the United States of America emanating out of blue counties, innovation, entrepreneurialism, the dominance of this country. California is the largest manufacturing state. I'm not just talking about coastal elitism. I'm not just talking about technology and innovation. I'm talking about hunting jobs, forestry jobs, farming and ranching jobs in states like California. In states like Illinois and New York, which Trump attacked today, said it won't help those states. 25% of the GDP of this country in just our 3 states. I mean, we've got to wake up to how reckless this guy is and how reckless their rhetoric is, because people don't know the facts. And it's incredibly important that we push back, particularly on economic facts. Harry, last thing, because I think this is critical. Since 1989, I'm in Ronald Reagan's office here, which is just interesting. People forget he was Governor Reagan. So I'm out here in Sacramento at Governor Reagan's office. Since the end of the Cold War in 1989, there's been 52 million jobs that have been created in the United States of America. 1.9 million in Republican administrations, 50.4 in Democratic administrations, 2 million, 50 million. How in the hell do Democrats lose on the economic message? We are the job creators in this country. We cannot allow Trump and the right wing and the surround sound and the mis and disinformation on Sinclair Broadcasting, on Fox, One American News, and Newsmax to dominate the national conversation.